The movie begins with Yelena Belova sneaking into a secret science lab. She quietly takes down several guards one by one without getting caught. Her mission is to collect important research papers and special items for a group called the Oxy Group, and she's working under the orders of a woman named Contessa Valentina de Fontaine. While Yelena is looking around, one of the scientists notices her and tries to stop her. He warns Yelena that Valentina is working on something dangerous called Project Sentry. A fight breaks out between them. The scientist pulls out a gun and tries to shoot Yelena, but during the struggle he accidentally shoots himself in the face and dies. Yelena grabs the things she came for and destroys the lab before leaving. Afterward, she contacts Valentina to report that the mission is done. Meanwhile, in D.C., Bucky Barnes has now become a congressman. He is involved in a big court case where Valentina is being questioned and possibly removed from her position because she secretly ran illegal missions. Valentina is always accompanied by her loyal assistant, Mel. During the hearing, Valentina tries to defend herself. She reminds the court of a past disaster involving the Red Hulk and says that since the Avengers are no longer around to help the world, she had no choice but to take action on her own, even if it meant breaking the rules. Yelena goes to visit Alexei Shostakov, also known as the Red Guardian, at his house. He lives alone now. During their conversation, Yelena opens up about how tired and unhappy she feels about all the missions she's done over the years. She's still heartbroken over the death of Natasha Romanoff. Alexei listens and gives her advice. After their talk, Yelena decides she's ready to move on and calls Valentina to ask for a new mission. Valentina sends Yelena to a high-security prison called the Vault. Her job is to eliminate a target, a woman named Ava Starr, who is also known as Ghost. When Yelena arrives and is about to complete her mission, she's suddenly attacked by John Walker, also known as the U.S. agent. Then another fighter shows up, Antonia Dreykov, also called Taskmaster, and she starts shooting at Walker. A chaotic fight breaks out between the four of them. In the middle of the chaos, Ava suddenly shows up in front of Taskmaster and shoots her in the head, killing her. After the fight ends, the remaining three find a man who somehow survived. His name is Robert Bob Reynolds, a regular-looking civilian, but clearly important. They quickly realize something. Valentina actually tricked all of them. She didn't just want Ava dead. She wanted them to kill each other and destroy all the secrets hidden inside the building. All the strange and powerful objects in the vault actually belong to Oxy Group, and Valentina wants to erase the evidence, including the assassins who know too much. Ava tries to escape by using her phasing power to go through the doors, but a loud supersonic machine is turned on, which messes up her powers. Yelena finds the machine's power source, and Walker smashes it. With her powers back, Ava is able to pass through the door and unlock it from the other side. The others run out just in time as the vault's incinerator turns on to destroy all the remaining evidence. Yelena suddenly finds herself reliving an old memory. In the memory, she's a little girl again. She sees herself leading another young girl named Anya into the woods. This was part of her first mission in the Red Room, a cruel training program where young girls were turned into assassins. Anya was meant to be executed as a test for Yelena. It's a painful memory. Yelena quickly snaps out of it. The memory was triggered because she accidentally touched Bob's hand. Yelena, Bob, John Walker, and Ava are still trapped inside the vault and now try to find a way to escape. Bob comes up with a strange but clever idea. They all lock arms and walk up the walls together to reach the top. It's dangerous, and they nearly fall when Walker grabs one of Yelena's batons to pull himself up. But in the end, they all make it safely to the top. Once they're up, Walker accidentally touches Bob's hand and also sees a painful memory. In his vision, he's arguing with his wife, who is upset because he's so obsessed with bad news stories about how he failed as the new Captain America, and he's ignoring their own child. Meanwhile, Valentina is at a fancy gala event with her assistant Mel. Bucky Barnes is there too, working with another congressman named Gary to take Valentina down legally. Bucky walks up to Mel and quietly gives her his contact information, saying that if she ever wants to work for someone more honest than Valentina, she can call him. Later, Mel watches surveillance footage from inside the vault and sees that the people Valentina sent to kill each other, Yelena, Ava, Walker, and Bob, have teamed up instead. She tells Valentina what's happening. Then Mel calls Bucky in secret. He asks her to testify against Valentina, meaning to tell the truth in court. Mel agrees to help and tells Bucky to track her phone, meaning she's ready to be followed for protection or backup. Valentina sends a group of armed mercenaries to the vault to kill Yelena, John Walker, and Ava. However, she tells them not to hurt Bob because he is the only survivor from a secret experiment called Project Sentry. Inside the vault, the three assassins are trying to escape. They hide from the mercenaries and come up with a plan. They knock out some of the mercenaries and wear their armor as a disguise. This way, they can sneak out without being noticed. As they're about to flee in a getaway van, the guards realize something's wrong and stop them. To help his new friends escape, Bob steps out of the van and purposely draws all the attention to himself. The guards open fire on him with their guns, but to everyone's shock, Bob isn't hurt at all. Suddenly, Bob starts flying into the sky, but he passes out when he gets too high. He loses control and crashes back down into the vault, where Valentina and her team capture him. Meanwhile, Yelena, Walker, and Ava are walking through the desert trying to find a safe way out. As they talk, Ava brings up Taskmaster, whom they recently fought. Yelena reflects on how Taskmaster was also a victim, just like them. The next morning, Alexei finds them. He's disguised as Valentina's limo driver and had figured out that Yelena was in danger. Yelena feels embarrassed by the old flashy limo he brought. It's not very subtle. But they all get in anyway to escape. Soon, a convoy of vans filled with mercenaries starts chasing them. The mercenaries begin shooting at their car. Ava tries to use her ghost-like powers to fight back, but a special supersonic weapon stops her again. Just when things seem hopeless, Bucky Barnes shows up and throws grenades that blow up the chasing vans. But then he also throws a chain onto the limo, and that causes it to flip over, ending their escape. Bob wakes up and finds himself face to face with Valentina. She starts talking to him and tries to win him over. She tells Bob that because of the experiments done on him, he now has powers like a god, and she calls him Sentry, his new superhero name. Then Valentina touches Bob's hand, which lets her see one of her own deepest and most painful memories. In the memory, she was a child who accidentally let a man into her house, not knowing he was dangerous. That man ended up killing her father. It's a memory that clearly still haunts her. After seeing that Valentina also carries pain, Bob promises her that he will do his best to control his powers and use them wisely. Elsewhere, Bucky Barnes has taken Yelena, Alexei, Walker, and Ava into custody, but not to hurt them. He wants to figure out what's going on and keep them safe. Mel, Valentina's assistant, secretly calls Bucky to warn him. She tells him that Bob, now known as Sentry, was mentally unstable, not in the right state of mind, when he was chosen for the experiment. That means Bob's powers could be very dangerous if something goes wrong. After hearing this, Bucky decides to lead the team to go after Valentina and stop whatever dangerous plans she has with Bob/Sentry. But Valentina had overheard Mel's warning to Bucky. She explains her side of things. She says the world is full of evil people. In her words, there are bad guys and worse guys. She admits that she herself is a bad guy, but says she's trying to stop even worse people from taking over the world. The Thunderbolts, Yelena, Bucky, Ava, Alexei, and Walker drive into the city and crash straight into Valentina's headquarters, a place known as the Watchtower. They fight their way through Valentina's security guards, then jump into an elevator to head up to the top, where Valentina is. When they get there, they find Valentina and Bob, who is now wearing a powerful new superhero suit. He fully becomes the superpowered being known as Sentry. The Thunderbolts try to fight Sentry and stop him from causing more damage, but nothing works. Their weapons and attacks have no effect on him. He is too strong and nearly unstoppable. During the fight, Sentry beats up the entire team, and at one point he even rips off Bucky's vibranium arm. Realizing they can't win, the Thunderbolts are forced to run away. But things take a turn. Sentry suddenly turns on Valentina. He starts to believe that he doesn't need to listen to her anymore. Just as he's about to choke her, Mel arrives and uses a kill switch, a device designed to stop him. It knocks Sentry unconscious. Valentina and Mel leave the area quickly. But then something strange happens. Darkness starts to surround Bob's body. Something much more dangerous is taking over. Outside, the Thunderbolts feel like they've failed. They look around at the damage and think they don't deserve to be called heroes. The group goes their separate ways. Alexei catches up with Yelena, who is feeling very down. She finally opens up and breaks down in tears. She says that she feels lost, like all she has is her job. Alexei gives her a heartfelt speech, telling her that she is much stronger and better than she thinks she is. He reminds her that she still matters, even if she doesn't see it right now. But then they join a crowd of people who are all staring up at the sky. Up above, Sentry has returned, but now he's changed into something much worse, a being called the Void. His body is surrounded by dark energy, and he starts using his powers to turn people in New York City into shadows. The rest of the Thunderbolts regroup and come back together to help the people in the city, trying to rescue as many civilians as they can. But it's not easy. The dark energy from the Void spreads over the entire city, covering everything in complete darkness. Yelena decides to do something brave. She says she's going to enter the Void herself to stop Sentry, even though it's dangerous. Once inside, she doesn't just face Sentry. She finds herself trapped in a series of memories from her own painful past. One of the memories is the one where she led the girl Anya into the woods as a child. Yelena runs through these dark memories, trying to escape them and fight through the pain. Eventually, she finds herself in a quiet room. Bob is sitting there, looking like his normal self. He's not in his powerful form anymore, just a man who looks sad and lost. Bob shows her one of his worst memories. He was abused by his father, and when he tried to defend his mother, she blamed him for making things worse. That memory still haunts him. Yelena realizes something important. Earlier, she had told Bob to hide his feelings, to bury the pain deep down. But now, she understands that was wrong. She tries to talk to him with kindness, helping him face those feelings instead of running from them. The rest of the Thunderbolts manage to come inside the Void too. But then, the evil version of Bob, the one known as the Void, appears. He starts mocking Bob, saying cruel things, and then attacks the team, beating them easily. Bob starts fighting back and punches the Void again and again. But it turns out that's exactly what the Void wants, to feed on Bob's anger and violence. Just then, Yelena runs through all the chaos and holds Bob in a hug. She doesn't try to fight, she just tells him that he's not alone. She reminds him that people care about him and want to help. The rest of the Thunderbolts join the hug, one by one. That simple act of kindness and connection helps calm Bob's emotions. It's enough to pull him back from the Void and end the darkness. Suddenly, the sky clears. The city and its people return to normal, as if nothing had happened. Once Bob is brought back and they all get out of the Void, he seems confused. He doesn't remember anything that happened while he was in his dark, dangerous form. It's like the whole thing was a blank space in his memory. The Thunderbolts now turn their attention to Valentina. They want to hold her responsible for all the chaos and danger she caused. But Valentina, being clever, saves herself before they can take her down. She quickly arranges a press conference in front of a big crowd and lots of reporters. In front of everyone, she says that forming the Thunderbolts was her idea all along. She acts like everything that happened was part of her grand plan. Then, with cameras flashing and people watching, Val proudly announces that the Thunderbolts are now being officially recognized as the new Avengers, the next team of heroes meant to protect the world. The crowd cheers loudly, excited to see a new superhero team rising up. But Yelena isn't fooled by Valentina's speech. She leans in and quietly tells Val something like, "That means your ass belongs to us now." This is Yelena's way of saying that the Thunderbolts are in control now, and they're not going to let Valentina manipulate them anymore. By this, the movie ends in here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.